Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm in my senior year and I am a MIS major, so Management Information Systems. What I like most about UT so far has definitely been the sense of community. It is a huge school, so being able to find your place, whether that's through organizations or just the general friendliness of people you meet on campus, that's been really helpful, especially as I am an out of state student, to kind of create a home here. So that's definitely been one of the things that's really kept me engaged and interested in UT and has really been very positive over the last 4 years. Well, almost 4 years. My favorite class in college has been statistics. It was the second half of a two-part statistics course. And what I really loved was that I found it very challenging, but the professor really that made me feel encouraged that even though I didn't necessarily know how to do something, I felt motivated to try to figure it out. And I felt like as the course went along, I was accomplishing things that were not previously possible. So, sometimes you go into like a math class and it's like, okay, all I have to do is hear it and I'll learn it. Sometimes you would find problems where you're like, I don't know how to solve this, and I'm not sure without the encouragement of the professor, I would have been able to do it by myself. And then when you look back on having done that accomplishment, I feel like it really gave me a big sense of pride, and I felt like that was a really great learning moment for me at the university. Um, what I like about web-based classes is that, of course, being a college student, it's always nice to be able to, do your class in pajamas or kind of work it around all the other things that go on your schedule. For me, I have some part-time jobs, and then, recruiting season can take up a lot of time. So being able to kind of fit the class around my schedule is really helpful. And the one thing that I don't like is with the lack of structure, it takes a lot more self-motivation, but that's also a really great growth opportunity to be able to really, especially as, senioritis kicks in, to really force me to, know what my work is and push myself to get it done. What intrigues me most about this class is, especially after my last internship, the feedback has oftentimes been, one of the biggest areas that's most important, besides technical skills, which they can always teach you, is communication. And the world is becoming more and more digital as time goes on, and I found, most of my communication was done online, so I definitely think that's a really important and applicable place to be able to learn and improve going forward in my career. I think the topic I'm most interested to learn about is kind of like the social media making impressions, because you get told a lot, like, since I was in middle school, watch what you post. You want to like, employers can see that, make sure you're sending out the right message. But they're not always clear exactly how to do that, or, what is the right message. So I definitely think taking some time to work through what that is for me, because I imagine it would be different for everyone. And kind of seeing how I do appear online is very interesting to learn about. I like social media in that I like to be able to, stay connected with people who I've met across the globe who otherwise I may not have been able to stay in touch with. Um, I don't like the fact that life is sort of gearing towards social media as the goal, rather than social media reflecting a journey to your own personal goal. So I definitely think keeping that focus on living my life and trying to do the things that make me happy, and using social media as a tool to do that versus doing things that look happy or look enjoyable in order to make my social media look better. That's definitely the line in the sand. I have to be careful when I'm, going through life. My dream job, well, my dream job today, I don't know what it will be, next year, is to work in supply and demand operations and kind of supply chain and logistics. And having done my internship, I found that almost all the interaction was through email or through Skype calls. It wasn't a lot of like sitting across from a person. So it makes it very difficult when you can't see the other person's face to try to get understand the context to what they're saying, because you don't really get the visual cues as much as you would if you were there in person. So I think computer media communication will really make it more important for me to understand what I'm saying and how other people could be perceiving it when they can't see my face, or they can't always hear my actual voice saying it. So the way I read it may not be how the person on the other end reads it. Especially in email where it really is just text on a page, or in a Skype call where I'm smiling and laughing and they might not realize it's a joke. So I just want to make sure I'm being cognizant of what I'm saying and how other people are taking it. um so I think one of my biggest hobbies is reading. So technology sometimes is or is not, there with reading, because I can use an e-reader, like an iPad, to help get more books on the go. Because I found that, like, shockingly, putting 5 books in your backpack makes it feel like a brick. I also like to swim. And so, one thing technology is cool has helped that is like waterproof speakers, and being able to hear underwater kind of keeps it more interesting than just like the silence of my thoughts while I'm going back and forth. Um, but of course, the one thing that gets in the way is when you're on your computer and you're surfing the internet, and maybe you really should be, going out and seeing people and enjoying the outdoors on a beautiful 105-degree day. Sometimes getting that motivation to put the technology down and really experience life can be challenging. But you know, I think there's pros and cons to technology, and the more you learn to embrace it and use it as a tool to make yourself better, the better it will be overall. Thank you.